I haven't seen a speck of pollen come in since we've been standing here. That's pretty significant. Okay, another week to check our hive that's caused us a whole lot of problems all year. Smoke the front entrance to let the guard bees kind of duck and run. And we'll smoke the top hole up here just because it's easy to do.
Well, there's nothing in here, so.
Yeah, there is. I can see them. Look at that, they're moving on more frames than normal. And we kind of like to put the inner cover in here. A lot of times when I set the second box off, I set it off and leave the inner cover on it to keep the bees from wanting to fly around. But I think today we're going to check the middle frame in this box just for fun and see what's going on. And so Jim will pick one out here and take a look at it. And remember, when you've spaced everything tight, so you got to leave yourself room to get it out without rushing a bunch of bees off. And you never know if they're putting burr comb in the bottom until you look at it. Now look at that. We didn't have that honey last week.
Not that
all honey.
That's gorgeous.
And this side they're capping real good, but
yeah, this side too.
so if you look at that, so the big thing here is we can see down in here, and that one's fully capped. Now they haven't drawn that one out yet, but this one here is fully capped. Okay, so that's good. So they're working from this side this way, so they're all capped. So they're capping it. Now here's the interesting thing. This doesn't have a super on, so we're pushing all the honey into the top box. Okay, so we're gonna start counting now. We're gonna shift a little bit here, and see that? We're gonna turn it around so they'll wanna work on it. They don't wanna walk all the way over to the other side. They'll stay right there. So we're in good shape there. And we'll set this box off. You doing this, you've got to do it very carefully, because if you're got a lot of burr comb on your bottom bars, your queen's walking there, you scrape across her, she's hurt. Okay? Now, just look at what we saw there. These three frames hardly had any bees on the top bar, but these had a lot. So I'm guessing our brood is over there. We might have to take a honey frame out of this bottom and move it up. What's on that?
Nothing.
Nothing? Okay, so we got one down there for them to work on. Let's see what they do.
This is what I wanted to see.
Okay.
There you go.
You know, we're four blind men most of the time when we're doing this. But hey, let's look at this frame a little bit. And I don't see the queen.
I don't either.
And the interesting thing is the side frame there was hardly drawn. Hold, turn it right there. Let's look at it. So look at in here, the pollen they're putting in on the side and stuff. That's something you should be looking for right now this time of the season. You want to have pollen around the brood frames, because pollen's going to be slowing down, and you don't want to have a hive that has a pollen dearth in it. If there's no pollen, they're not going to accept eggs from the queen. They'll pick them up and carry them out, okay?
They've got to start raising their winter bees.
Yep. So this looks really good. Remember, these bees will mostly be gone in 45 days that are in those frames when they hatch out. So let's see what we got here.
That's another one. Nice.
See, they're putting the pollen and the honey in on the side. That's what you're looking for right now to make sure that you're getting what you want. Well, let's give them a good look at that. That looks pretty nice. Now they're spaced out all over that frame. I would not expect to see the queen on a frame like that, because that signals that there's very few eggs on that frame. Okay. You do realize that we haven't seen the queen, and she's been laying for this is the third week.
There's larva.
Yeah.
Real young larva. And that's an indication that we're getting close to her, maybe.
Now remember, we raised a new queen, so there was very little brood in there. All this brood here was capped when we got in there last week. That's how we knew we'd had a queen the week before or earlier.
Finally, this hive is getting ready to explode.
Yep.
Took long enough.
Now, here's where we might see some. Got eggs in there, Jim?
Yep.
Okay, looking good. Now see how they're a little more concentrated over top of the brood? See that? Remember, if there's eggs and larvae in there, they're gonna wanna feed that larva all the time. Larva is calling for food practically always. So that's why you'll see bees concentrating that spot. They're drawing that out real nice. I'd like to see it drawn out more. You don't want to know what I say to queens that hide all the time. Got all sorts of names for them. Let's look at the last frame. Remember, that frame right there Jim has in his hands was on the outside last week. Okay? This is the frame that was in there in that position. And they're filling it all full of honey, aren't they? Okay, look here. I would say she should be on that frame, but who knows? We got eggs and larvae in there? Sure we do, looking at the way they're on there.
They're there. There's eggs there.
Okay, turn it a little bit so we get more sunlight on
Which way?
it. That's good right there.
Dang, I don't see her.
I don't see her either. Okay. I didn't see her on that side. Okay. All right. Let's look at a couple of these frames and see if she ran over here and made a mess out of all of our good plans. Now see right here, these are queen cups, and they put those in there all the time. Don't be all upset that you see them. Normally when I'm working the hive, I cut them out just for fun to make sure they're not in there. So if I happen to see one where they're getting serious about it, anything on that side?
No.
What's the...
Look on this side. Is it honey on this side?
Definitely no queen unless she's running loose.
Is that a true down queen cell?
Okay. We didn't mark this frame 2025. We need to do that. Now always mark on one side your what you're doing, and then if you reverse the frame, you know it's reversed because the number's at the other end of the hive. Helps you to know what you did if you can't remember. So this queen is kind of driving us nuts. And I know how you're frustrated you can't find her, but you know, she a lot of times when you open the hive and stuff, she'll run onto the wood walls or something like that and kind of hide in a corner to get away from you. It don't look like nothing, does it? Nope. Well, we'll put this back in there. They're still drawing comb to use as they need it. They probably won't go crazy until that brood starts to hatch. I think once that brood hatches, we'll have a better chance of finding a queen because she'll come into where that brood is and lay eggs. Okay, we're putting 2 acrylic strips on here that Jim has made. and Larry and those guys. So they've made these, and so this is Randy Oliver's type of strips, formulation, and everything. So you can
oxalic
get
acid and
oxalic acid
glycerin.
off of his website, how to do it and everything. We've shown some stuff on how to do it, and there's new strips out that are Varroa sand that are already done, and you can just buy them. They're real hard to get a hold of right now, so you'll have to wait till the supply force gets bigger. That's it.
Okay.